Hi guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Love Code on YouTube. Fun things are happening here, great things, exciting things are happening. I just wanted to thank every one of you for your feedback and your support concerning the launch of our local church, Believers House, here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Thank you so much. Since we made the announcement, we've had tons of feedback and you guys reaching out to us to let us know that you're supporting us, even though some of you cannot be here. So we just wanted to say that we're grateful for all of that. And if you're not yet aware, maybe this is the first time you're hearing me talk about it. We are launching a local church here in the city of Halifax, Nova Scotia, that will be called Believers House, and we are planning and preparing towards that. It's something that we're excited about, and we're trusting God to see us through this process. It's been a journey. My wife and I moved from the west coast of Canada to the east coast in Halifax, where we are right now, over a year ago now, and we've been trusting God for what the direction is. Why are we here, and what is the plan? And in the last few months, it's become clearer to us that this is what the Lord would have us do here in this city, just to reach more people for Jesus in that way through the local church, which we believe is the most powerful force that there is on the earth right now. So we're going to be doing a premiere just to announce the vision and to talk about this. It will be on October 18th, so next week actually. So it's going to be just an online service, as it were, where we will just talk about what this is all about, cast the vision, and maybe give you some updates, show you some pictures of where we are and what's going on there. So in the meantime, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms, Believers House H. That's the handle that we've chosen, and across all of our social media platforms there. And right here on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel, because the premiere is going to be on that channel, on the church YouTube channel. So you want to connect with that, and that's how we're going to do all of the announcements and all of the videos and everything that are going to be coming out from that local assembly. So you want to join us to be a part of that. All right, so today we're going to continue from where we stopped last week. Last week we were talking about moving on from breakups, and I promised I was going to talk this week about how long should it take. Just answering that question: how long should you wait before you move on? If you didn't watch last week's video, you can go ahead and watch it. But if you did, we're just going to continue from that point and just talk about how long should it take you before you move on from breakup. If today is the first time you're watching any of my channel or my videos, actually, I want to thank you for joining us today. This is a very special time to be a first time visitor. So I want to thank you for being a part of this. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss a thing from here on. All right. Okay, so let's move it along. We're going to be talking about how long should it take for you to move on from a broken relationship. And like we said last week, it's better to have a broken courtship than a broken marriage. So if the relationship isn't working, or if there are too many red flags, things are not looking, and you want to end it, you can end it, but just make sure that there's no bitterness as much as possible. Try to avoid bitterness, and we said a lot about that last week. So this week I just want to talk about how long should it take. People say things about you have to wait to heal so that you don't go into a rebound relationship. People talk about rebound relationships, and do I believe in rebound relationships? Well, I believe that when we talk about how long should it take, it usually, for me, it is about how long would it take you to see clearly. That's what I usually say. How long does it take you to see clearly, to see not with the eyes of your old relationship? Because what happens to most people is they are looking for revenge. They are looking for vengeance, and that's what rebound relationships are all about. That's what the concern is. So people are not seeing clearly. They're just going into the next relationship with the mindset of getting back at their ex. So if your ex is the reason why you are getting into the next relationship, you are doing it wrong. So you want to make sure that you are not getting into a relationship just because you want to get back at somebody, where you ignore so many red flags because you feel like, I just need this relationship, to show that I'm moving on. I just need this relationship. So you quickly, the next person that comes along, you're not thinking, you're not praying, you're not preparing, you're not planning. People are warning you, but you don't care. You just want to take pictures with the person and post online so that your ex can see those images and feel like, oh wow, she has moved on. if that is the purpose, then man, you are doing it completely wrong. You are doing it completely wrong. So that's the concern with rebound relationships. So it doesn't mean that you have to wait forever and ever. It is how long does it take before you start to see things clearly, before you start to see, and again, it's not about the next person being perfect. It's just make sure that it's not about getting back at anybody. If a new relationship comes along, fine, but don't go about looking for a relationship. Don't, like, everybody that walks through the door, don't start examining, is it the one, I mean, that means that you haven't healed. Something is still wrong with you in that sense. Something hasn't completely gone away from you. So you're not going to seek out your old relationships just because you are looking for. You cannot be single. That's the problem. Where it's almost as if being single is a problem. So you can't just be single. So you're just looking for anybody. So you start digging up your WhatsApp and looking for people that have abandoned you. Start sending hi, hello to everybody because you're trying to rekindle old flames and just to hook yourself up to someone, right? If a new person comes along, that's completely fine. And things develop in a healthy way. Move along with it. Don't say, oh, I'm still healing from my relationship. Listen, you're not going to heal forever, okay? It's about making sure that it is not something that you are doing with the wrong motive, with the wrong intention. So that's the way I see it, okay? Don't go seeking an old relationship or just anyone because you just cannot be single. Now, in order to enjoy being married, the interesting thing is that for you to enjoy being married, you must actually be comfortable being single. You must be comfortable being single. You must have lived a whole single life, a single life that is complete, where you are not needy, you are not desperate, you are not somebody who cannot be by themselves, who you have to be attached to somebody for your life to be meaningful or enjoyable. I know I'm coming at you today, but it's just the way I feel about it. You cannot afford to be desperate. I've seen too many desperate and needy singles, too many, that the signs are so obvious. Everybody is telling them that this thing that you are doing is not okay. Can't you see? But I mean, they just want someone. They are not thinking about, whether this is the will of God or whether this person is even a reasonable fellow, right? It's just, I can't just be single. I just must have a relationship. There must be a bae, there must be a boo, there must be somebody that that they are hooked up to, that they, and they just fall for anybody that comes along, right? So it doesn't mean that you can't find a new relationship in a short period of time, but you still must be looking clearly and must be seeing clearly. The guidelines that you have must not shake. You mustn't lower your standards because you are trying to get into a new relationship, okay? Don't get into a relationship that is clearly wrong just in the name of moving on. That's the next thing I wanted to talk about. For example, don't go attach yourself to a married man because you are trying to move on, okay? That's what we're talking about. So there are some relationships that are clearly wrong. Don't become unequally yoked with an unbeliever because that's the only person that is coming along with, after your breakup, right? Those are the things that you must guard against. If something is wrong, it's wrong. It's not about, this is helping me to move on. It's helping me to heal from this person. I just can't. It's the only one that is. Listen, it means you are not yet comfortable being single. You have to practice that to the point where, for you to add value to your marriage, you must be somebody who has already practiced singlehood, who understands how to be single, right? Then you bring that to the table, and the two of you can now become one. It's not somebody who cannot be by themselves, who is needy and desperate. That's going to come out in your marriage, like it or not. You will start to see your partner will start to see that you are not whole. You are not a complete whole. Coming into the marriage, you are broken. There's something wrong. All right, so you want to avoid that. Avoid being desperate. Avoid being needy. And lastly, what I'm going to say about this is that I believe so much in what the scripture says, that if by one man's iniquity sin came into the world, by another man, Jesus, there's going to be righteousness. We have all been made righteous. So that on that premise, it's very obvious that, I mean, if one man broke your heart, it's another man who's going to come to heal you, So, and that's the way it is. What God usually does is to take away the first and establish the second. So He's going to bring somebody else in who will do the job, right? Who will be the person, maybe not you. I don't want to say the person of your dreams because those things are overrated. Where you start expecting too much from somebody. Listen, everybody is a human being. People are not. There's no. All those things are for novels and fairy tale, right? Don't don't get into your head that you're looking for the perfect, the Prince Charming that's going to come and solve all your problems. Listen, yeah, that's a recipe for heartbreak. So just let your expectations be reasonable, because you are also a person. You're also going into that relationship with some of your own challenges, and you know that you're not perfect yourself. So you can't expect too much from anybody. But all I'm saying is that God will bring someone else who's going to be a good husband to you, who's going to be somebody that will be loving and caring, and who will treat you well, right? If you were in an abusive relationship, if by that man abuse came, by another man there's going to be wholeness, right? So I believe so much in that God has somebody planned for every single one of us, whether you're a guy or a lady out there, and I know so many guys too who right now in this season they are going through a lot when it comes to finding a life partner and looking, and it's funny because people think that it's the other way around, that is a lot of ladies are the ones looking for, but it's not true. There's so many guys too who we just can't seem to find the right person, for them. So, and I believe that God has somebody for every single one of us, as long as we play by His rules and do things the way that He expects us to do them. So that's all I want to talk about today concerning this. So don't move on in a hurry. At the same time, don't sit down forever and ever. Don't start mourning. Don't start having a pity party, sitting down, watching TV, eating chips, and just adding weight. Right? Don't do that. Right? Dust yourself up. You can't cry. It's okay to cry. Like what happened to Jesus. When they told him Lazarus was dead. Of course he cried, right? But he didn't stay crying. He didn't stay there and just be crying and crying and crying. After he cried, he dusted himself up. Lazarus, come forth. That's the next thing. So after you finish crying, you have to call things out and say, my spouse, come forth, right? And don't sit down there and just be crying, all right? So it's okay to cry for a season, but don't stay there. That's all. Don't stay there. Dust yourself up. Put on your makeup, go out. Don't let them. Your friends are calling you. We have a singles meeting. You say, no, I don't all those things. And you start avoiding things that have to do with relationship. Any relationship video, you avoid it. Anything that anybody sends you an email about relationship, you avoid it. You can't do that because you are not allowing yourself to heal. You're not going to come out of it quickly. You're going to stay there for a long time. So there's no prescribed time for you to move on, but just make sure that you're moving on for the right reasons. You're not moving on as a, and it's so tempting to want to use your new relationship to get back at your old relationship, but all of that is unnecessary. It just simply means that you haven't healed. There's still bitterness in your heart and you want to get rid of that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this was helpful to you. Like the video if you do, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on your notifications so that you know when I have a new video out. I usually have a new video out every Sunday at 6 p.m. Atlantic Daylight Time. Okay, and don't forget what we said. Believers House is coming. We are planning, we are praying, and we would love you to join us and participate and support us in one way or the other. Okay, so keep an eye out on our website, connect with us on social media, all of our social media platforms, and especially YouTube, where we're going to be doing the live streaming of the premier services that will start on October 18th. So connect with us and stay informed, and just pray along with us as we embark on this journey. Okay, thank you so much once again. Until I see you again next week, God bless you.